And if you look to your left as you're speaking, also Kirsten. Kirsten has done so much to help us. She's helped me with questions, she's helped me with all kinds of things, and she's our timekeeper.
Okay.
And it's kind of a relaxed format, as you know. And you'll be our only speaker today, and you have a couple minutes to introduce yourself, as you remember from the last one. I'll go down to questions. It takes me less than a minute to ask each question. And I believe you have 2 minutes. Is that what you're using, Kirsten, is two?
Yes.
2 minutes to answer each question?
Two to respond. I mean, and like I told somebody else, I mean, I keep the time, but I'm not like a strict Nazi. I mean, if you're, when you're getting, I give you like the yellow.
Good to know that, Christian.
Yellow for the halfway, red for the stop, and if you'll, kind of wind up your comments if you get a red. So.
She's really more of a socialist.
So does that mean you're,
I think I'm going to have to exit if she's a socialist.
does that mean you're an unstrict Nazi?
Yeah, maybe.
But I'll wait till Kirsten gets her phone set up.
No, I think I'm ready whenever you guys are.
You want to tell us something about yourself, Ms. Jones?
Yes, I do. I just started, and I am a candidate for Florida U.S. Senate, and my name is Latresa Jones. I am, they call it a populist now, this new generation. I'm a common sense kind of person. My husband and I have 7 kids, and we have 5 grandkids, and I'm trying to start off a little soft here, so, oh good, Christian's walking over there, so the time has stopped. Anyways, I'll let you guys know. The reason I decided to run for this position is because God told me 6 years ago. My prayer to God has always been about our kids. I've been advocating for these kids for decades and years. And we have a responsibility. What you see here is what you put into this society. That's what we've done. And we have to take responsibility for that. I am a 4th generation Black American. I am the grandchild of a slave in America. So you have to realize how important it is for me to make sure that our Constitution is in place and our values as well. It matters. Somebody fought for me. And you know what? I'm a breath of fresh air for the Republican Party because we've been conservatives all our lives. And I am very unhappy. And I know God has not to be pleased with what's going on in this country. Amen. We have allowed some things just because we closed a blind eye. We have allowed this to happen. And who's going to clean it up? I tell you one thing, what I'm going to do, I'm going to help clean it up because it is common sense. Do it take a genius to figure out if you don't have enough money over here, you need to find out where you're going to get it from and what you need to eliminate? This is common sense. I don't have to have, and we don't need any more attorneys because I'm not that either. I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother, I'm pro-God, I'm pro-life, and I am pro-guns as well. So I'm just going to let you know that right now.
Well, you got my vote.
So we don't have to we don't have this confused. I'm not confused on where I stand, and I stand on solid ground. And I hear all the time about, the problem. I'm not even going to talk about the problems because I want solutions. The solution is that we have to send people that are not groomed, because I tend to see we have these groomed politicians. I've been this and I've been that. Well, guess what? Because of your groomedness and because of what you've been doing, I look at the state for my grandkids and your grandkids. It's a mess out here. You guys have kids, not even in puberty, telling you how to change a gun law. You're talking about kids. And God knows when we send our kids to college, how many times they change their curriculum and how much money we have to spend. This is what we've allowed. And this is what you're going to tell me we should allow to dictate. And when they start taking your rights away, you have to remember with the NRA as well. With the NRA, Black people, slaves like my family, that is what gave us the right to protect ourselves when we became free. And now you want to tell me we're going to take it from everybody? Y'all better wake up, because it's coming if you continue to allow it. See? Thank you, Christian.
I'm probably going to slow it down a little now.
Okay. I don't know, because you got me going.
You got a fire extinguisher in here?
Hey, you're going to need more than that, let me tell you.
Ms. Jones, what are your top 3 goals as a member of the U.S. Senate?
The top 3 goals. My first goal is to help this president. That's my first goal. And America's first agenda. That is my goal. My goal is I elected a president, and I elected him because of where he stands and what his values is, and I know he has a plan for this country that I support. And he's a businessman and he's a genius. My objective is not to go up there. I don't need my own platform. I need to go and help the man that's running this country and have his back in reference to the ones that say we're on his side and actually are not. Because if you're not on this, this is what we've done. As far as what I'm going to continue to support, we need to build that wall by any means necessary. Amen. My husband is an immigrant from Cuba, and his family came here legally. So I don't want people to start saying that she's racist and she's prejudiced. And remember, I'm still black at the end of the day. So, and that this is my reality of it. But as far as building the wall, as far as securing our borders, it matters. It matters because of these sanctuary cities. Do most people realize it was 3,000 people killed in Chicago this year alone? And that's a sanctuary state. Okay, I got you.
You still have more time.
Oh, I got some more time? You get me confused now.
Yeah, the yellow's the caution.
Okay, that's an extra minute I get here. Oh, anyways, but my plan is that it's not, well, you can't reinvent the wheel. Because I'm American made and Detroit built. I was born on the east side of Detroit. I know what economy looks like. I know what it takes when we put money into our economies. And I know we need small businesses as well to grow. And our president is doing a good job. He just don't have good support. So now, I did it in a shorter time. Next.
In case anyone didn't catch that, you said you were, what was your phrase there? You were American born and what? I thought that was good.
You do? Yeah. I said I'm from the east side of Detroit. I'm American made.
Yes.
Detroit built, and Florida has my heart.
Ms. Jones, please list 3 things you would support cutting from the budget, from the Senate's budget. 3
things that I would support cutting from the Senate's budget. Anything that's wasteful. I'll tell you the first thing we probably need to sit down and to go through in reference to, that's a good question. Let me think about this really honestly hard, not too hard. But at the same time, I think that I'll go back to say whatever the president's agenda is, I will research it, because for me to hypothetically say we should cut this, this, and this, that's how you make a false promise. I can't make no promises because I don't know what's necessary at this particular point and what's not necessary, because I have to sit down and we need to look at things itemized. That's how I do in my household. If I know I have a bill to pay, right? You have a bill to pay, and sometimes you come up short. You have to sit there and you have to say what is necessary and start prioritizing things. I'm not going to hypothetically just say, oh, I'm going to cut this, this, and this, and this, and then you come back because you got me recorded and say, remember what you said? So this is what I'm going to say. When I sit down, once I get there, and we look at what we have, we'll make those necessary decisions. But I tell you one thing, when we cut any kind of spending for illegals, we provide too much. That's a start right there. You can build a whole wall with the money we pay out. So we will start there. Illegal immigration, we will address. That is one of my first priorities. And like I say, I'm not trying to go up here because I'm not running for president. I'm running for U.S. Senate because I want to have this president's back, because he already has an America's first agenda. Well, I'm going to have to start thinking extra hard or paying extra staff. That's ridiculous. Next question.
Thank you. What are 3 bills that you would propose?
Oh, Jesus, take the wheel. Do I have to stand still? Because I'm not that kind of person that stands still. You know, I have 7 kids and 5 grandkids, so I don't stand still often. And repeat the question again.
What are 3 bills
Yep.
you would propose?
3 bills that I would propose. 3 bills I would propose, and I thought about this as well. I want the death penalty for pedophiles. Anybody that's raping kids over and over again, I want the death penalty. Amen. I want it across this country, because when you set the example, guess what happens? You make them start thinking twice. And regardless of what their political status is, even if they're in the Congress, the House, or the Senate, there's definitely going to be a bill. I'll tell you another one. Sexual harassment. The next bill is, I want to be reimbursed This country should be reimbursed for the amount of monies they have taken from taxpayers' dollars to pay for sexual harassment from our Congress. That money is astronomical. Why should we have slush funds like that to pay for your misbehavior? That's the second bill. Any bill that I'm going to push is going to be geared towards the future of these kids. Another one that we definitely have to continue to reevaluate in reference to the student loans. They're out of control. These kids can't even afford to live. And let me go back and say, I just thought about it, just hit me. I had an aha moment. Repeal and replace Obamacare.
Amen.
It has to go. It's not going to do us any good. So that's 3, maybe 4.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm sorry for being on 100. I'm trying to calm down a little.
Ms. Jones, what do you see as your relationship with the president in the Senate position?
We have an understanding right now, and I'm not even in the Senate position because I gave him his job. That's the first thing that I see. Our relationship is that we're both entrepreneurs. I'm a businesswoman. My husband and I have been able to put our kids through college and live fairly decently. We don't have an extravagant lifestyle, but at the same time, our agendas are the same. He wants to make this country great again. This is already the best country in the world, but it needs to be cleaned up because we've allowed this, and we have to take responsibility as adults. I've never seen so much race bashing. I'm still a young chicken, and that is my reality. But in my history, I've never seen anything like this. My grandmother died at 122 years old. 122. So the responsibility for me is very serious. I take it seriously. I take it that somebody fought for me, first of all. So now I have to take the responsibility and fight for somebody else. I'll tell you something else in reference to, you guys remember we had the Civil Rights Act of '64. That was the worst thing they could have possibly done because what had happened in the minority communities, they sold us out. They've done us wrong for 50 years. And I usually don't go into Republican or Democrat because it's about being Americans. I have a son that went to war at 18. Oh, man, you got me started. I might as well go. I had a son that went to war at 18 years old, and he fought for this country. But guess what? He came back a better man than he left. And I think another bill that we need to consider right now for kids to even get into the service, they have to have some college. Everybody don't need to go to college. Everybody shouldn't have to have college to go into the service. That is how we build our military. That is how we make men, because I want to see men be men, and I want to see women be women again. That's what I want to see for these kids, all of them. Not confused, because God is first in everything we have to do. In everything we have to do. That's...
Ms. Jones, what advice or issues would you support President Trump regarding his upcoming meeting with North Korea?
You really want to know?
Yes, ma'am.
Simple. Kick their ass.
Okay.
I'm just an honest person, and it just is what it is. I just can't be any other kind of way.
You and Trump will get along real good.
I know it. And see, my team is going to say, did you act up today? And I have to sit there and tell them, I'm normal. I need people to realize I'm normal. I'm not groomed. I'm not going to be perfect because that's not how God made us. God didn't make us perfect, but he made us with a purpose. And my purpose is to help make this country better for all of us because we all got to get old, y'all. And who gonna take care of all of us? They gonna put us all in the pot with no guns, and God knows that's not gonna be good. Any other questions? I'm sorry.
I was going to say one again to see if you had another answer, but I'll leave that one alone. Ms. Jones, what are your thoughts on President Trump's import-export tariffs?
I think it's excellent. I honestly think it's a good deal because you see what Seoul's doing now. Now they're gonna start selling more of our products. And I think he is a businessman, and I respect him. I respect the level of energy he's put into it. in those tiers, I think that it's a good deal. I think it's good for us. It's about time, just like cell phones. Everybody owns a cell phone. And as far as I'm concerned, they need to put a tier on these cell phones. How is it everybody has a cell phone and we don't make no money from them? How is that? That's absurd. You know how much money? Now that's money for a wall too. See how genius that is? That actually is, if you think about it. If they start putting tiers on Sony and all these other big companies that's making all these products outside of our country, and we're purchasing them and they're not paying any taxes, these are common sense things, people. It don't take a genius to figure it out. It does not. Oh, I forgot we sent a whole bunch of geniuses to Washington. But that's what we have because we don't have common sense.
Kind of piggybacks on some of that. How would you expedite President Trump's position on the wall?
How I expedite it?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll sit down and I'll tell them, you make this shit happen and I got your back. I'm being honest. That's exactly what I'm going to tell him. He's upstairs right there next to me and I'm saying, look me in my eyes, young man. You make this happen and I got your back.
This happened, okay.
Yes. Whatever you need to make happen, and if it makes sense for this country and in our Constitution matters, let's make it happen. I didn't think I'd shake you though, because you had me going.
I'll stay as close as you allow me.
You're fine.
Okay. If elected a U.S. Senator, you will be representing the state of Florida.
Yes,
I'll
sir.
repeat this twice if you need it.
Go ahead.
Can you cite ways through your leadership skills that you can get Senator Rubio, who would be the other senator for the state of Florida, Senator Rubio, to work more with our president?
You know what I'm going to tell Rubio?
No, ma'am.
This is how I have to tell. See, this is the problem. Everybody likes to be nice about things, but the deal is when you so nice about things, you don't get the things done. That means you compromise. And I'm going to tell him just like I'm going to tell the president, you better get your shit together, and whatever we have to do to make this work for the people of Florida, and it's in the Constitution, this is what needs to happen. It's not about what I think and what he think and our personal opinions. It's about the people of this country, the people of Florida. And yes, Peter cussed. I'm a cussing senator, but Peter cursed. In the Bible, Peter. Next.
What recommendations would you make to the president regarding dreamers and illegal immigration?
Send them home as fast as you can. You know, it's not a compromise. It's too many people compromise. They even compromise God. We have compromised God in this country because we don't want to say anything. We don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. We want to be politically correct. Well, guess what? They gonna get me again. To hell with all of that. Because I'm telling y'all something. God, when he comes, he's coming for us, and we have a responsibility, and we don't know when he's coming, but he's coming. And he's not going to compromise what his laws are, but we have. We've compromised God's laws. Look at what we've done in this country. People I'm not the only one that takes this serious. And you know, they say, just say morals, Latricia, just say morals. I don't believe in same-sex marriage. It's wrong. It goes against God. Regardless if it's your children, your mama, your daddy, or your grandmama, it's wrong. It's wrong. And they told me don't say nothing about that old president either. And I'm not going to say nothing about Lucifer. And I didn't call his name. I said Lucifer, the old president. 44 is his number.
What changes to FEMA would you support as a U.S. Senator?
Well, with FEMA, I think that what we can actually do to increase business in Florida, we take so much money during our hurricanes because we expect our hurricanes, but we send all that money out. We bring all those contractors into Florida to make all this money opposed to having businesses that's already here. And I would like to see anything that happens in a hurricane state, especially like Florida, we are able to give a lot of these contracts to our first priority should be to Floridian businesses.
You are smart, lady.
Thank you.
They call them storm chasers. That's the title in the
Okay.
business. That's what they call them. this is our last question, I believe. Regarding the devastation in Puerto Rico, and which piggybacks somewhat on that, what do you see as your involvement for those relocating to Florida?
Well, first of all, they need to get a residency so they can register to vote. That's the first thing that I see. And the second thing, I think that America, that's a hard question. It's not a hard question because I think I'm gonna just have to keep it real. You see, Puerto Rico is doing exactly what it's doing and in the state that it's in because of the bad government and the mismanagement of the funds over there. So once again, guess who comes to the rescue? Guess who? The good old United States. And I'm okay with that because Puerto Rico is a commonwealth of this country, and we made a commitment because we are a country that should continue to keep our word in reference to any commonwealths that's out here or any other treaty that we have. And we have to reevaluate all these treaties. And I'm gonna tell you something else though, and it's not about Puerto Rico, and we need to pull out of the UN. We do not need to be funding those people. And I shouldn't call them those people, should I? But that's what they are. We should not be funding the United Nations. But with FEMA, I think that it's a good thing that we're doing. I see, and I talk to a lot of the people. A lot of them are still dealing with a lot of things because this is going to create a pretty big bill for us, to be honest, in the end. We don't see it right now, but it's going to be a big bill because a lot of those people are still living in hotels, right? Even up here in Orlando and Ocala. So somebody's putting that bill. I think that whatever support that we can give them to help them reestablish their own Puerto Rico, I think we should be doing that. And they should have those options as well because I'm still about America first. I still feel we have so many issues here in Florida and so many people that have needs that we have to meet. So we have to be careful about who we're taking care of. Of course, we've been taken care of. That's our reputation in the United States. We take care of everybody. But the problem's being we've been so busy taking care of everybody else that we hadn't even taken care of our own country. We haven't taken care of our own Americans in this country.
Amen.
And that is a reality. And it's time that we start taking care of America first.
Thank you. That's all the questions that I have. If you'd like to close, a couple minutes.
Oh God, that's a breather. Because when Glenn, I was at one of your other ones, and I was like, oh, okay, this is a rough dude here, but it's okay. But I'll tell you something.
Rough dude.
You're a good dude though. You're a good dude. But I'll tell you something though. I hear it, but I have to speak power to truth because I don't care who gets in this Senate race. They're gonna get a beating from me because it's time the American people are represented in this country. For so long, we have taught these kids to run behind a dollar. So that's why we as adults, such and such has $100 million. Well, if I had $100 million, I might have to reevaluate things too. But my point of it is, if we as the leaders, we have to stand up and show these kids that this country is not about money. It's a country you can come to and you can make anything happen. But we have lost the morals because of a dollar. We've done this. We have to take responsibility. And we're going to be held accountable for our actions. And I'll tell you, the reason I was late is because I volunteer on Saturday. So I'm going back and forth with my staff saying, but I got to go volunteer. Because I like to hear what people need. How can you feed people if you don't know what they need to eat? How can you help people if you don't know what they need? I know what my kids might need. But at the same time, I know all these kids need a future. Because if we don't get it together, people, and we don't start we have to make better decisions. And do I say I ask for your vote and your support? Absolutely, I do. If you want a candidate that's going to go up there, can I do everything? No. But am I going to give them hell, Harry? Yes. I have nothing to lose. Under no circumstances, nothing. But I'm going to tell you what we all have to lose together. We have a country that's on the brink of us losing it. And this is the reality of it. Socialism is at our feet. It's knocking at the door. I never thought I'd ever see that. But this is not a country of socialism. So now you know, I am for family, for God, and for freedom. And I'm Latricia Jones. I give you a card. You can go and check out my website. If you had any other questions, feel free to, but I'm not a politician, people. I'm not. But you know what the Constitution, it doesn't require me to be a politician. And I'm not a career politician. I'm not trying to go there and retire there. Who wants to do that for all those years? That's just ridiculous. But at the same time, I have to let these kids know this is America. And this Republican Party, we're conservatives. You have to be physically conservative. We have to have these common sense kind of questions. You know, instead of saying, oh, I have a PhD, because one thing I realize, the more degrees you have, the stupider you are. And that's just the reality. Even though some of my kids, I even have to tell them too, you know, that's that college in you. Don't get confused on who your mama and your daddy is. Just don't do that. But at the same time, I'll tell you guys, I can't do this without you all. I can't. I go to so many clubs and I sit there, oh, is my time up again? I think
You're doing really good. You're doing really good. You can wrap up.
I can't, well, thank you. But anyways, I have a card for you all. If you have questions, you want to support, you're more than welcome to. But it takes us to make a difference out here. Y'all just had all these children down in the street. That's scary. And if you're not alarmed, you damn well better be. When you start putting the thought in the kids that they're entitled to something, they ain't entitled to nothing but to go to school. And let me tell you something else about them children, because every time I think about it, I get mad. If I saw my granddaughter on that TV out there come out walking out of school, you would have saw this mad black woman snatching her butt up, walking out of school because you want to give somebody 15 minutes. I got 15 minutes for you. And now what we have to do, and that's the truth. I do. And when they come and guess what, and they have issues, I take their cell phones and I put them in the dryer. I hide them from them. They don't run my house, we run our house. We the adults. And this is the country that we have to run. Them children shouldn't be running no country, telling people that made a commitment about our gun rights to violate our rights. And then you still think somebody's supposed to support you? That's foolishness. Sheer foolishness.
Amen.
I'm Latricia Jones. Y'all, let's pray for each other. Not just me. You know what? And I tell God all the time, Lord, I'm praying for them because they got a fight coming. And that's exactly what has to happen. Our America has to have a change in face and a new face. And the only person that can send that message to them are the voters. And it's free. Somebody's already paid that price. And I'm not even going to talk about tearing these statues down and all this other foolishness. Do you know that ain't just your history? That's my history too. That's the history my family fought for. Your family fought for. And it's not a wrong history, but we make it better. That's what we have to do, and this president needs us to make it better. And y'all don't get mad at him because he's doing stuff we might not like, because I figured out something about this man. He is a strategic chess player.
Yeah.
He is strategic, and I like that about him.
He's smart.
Yes, he is. He is smart. And he and I will get along just fine.
Now, you live in Marion County?
I live in Ocala. Yes, I do.
It'd be a sin if I didn't give this document right here. This is, we usually charge for these, as you know, Ms. Jones. This is an application to become a member of the Trump Club.
I've been seeing it if you give it to me.
And we'd love to have you become a member.
Okay.
And this is, I know you've got a large territory to cover. But you or Mr. Is it Mr. Jones?
Mr. Jones?
Mr. Jones are in the area and you want to attend one of our meetings, you're always welcome, whether you become a member or not. And I wish you luck and much success.
And give me another one, because we both are become members. How about that?
You get better